What's up, guys? We're back with a full slate of MLB action here on Sunday, April 27th. We're going to give out plays on every MLB game on the slate and all 4 NBA playoff games. I'll give you my dog of the day and pick out my massive lock, my pick that regardless of price, I think has the highest chance of cashing today. Slam that like button and subscribe to the channel if you want to keep seeing these videos every single day, and let us know what you're thinking in the comments. I personally answer every single comment every day. Check the pinned comment throughout the day to see our favorite picks, and it pays to check back a couple of times per day to see if there are any changes with injury news coming out and starters being confirmed. Yesterday, guys, the hot streak continues. We went 5-1 over all of our picks. We started things off strong with the Tigers at -120. That was a close one, a 4-3 win. Mize was in trouble all game, but only ended up giving up 1 run, so did a good job of pitching his way out of trouble. We had Cleveland +100. That was another very close one. Coming out on the right side of 2 one-run games there. Cleveland at +100 gets the 5-4 win. Our one loss of the day was kind of unlucky, guys. We had the Cleveland against Miami Heat over 213 in the NBA. They scored 211 total points. Miami only scored 87 points of their own. They knock in 1 more 3, and we win that bet. So, yeah, that was a tough one to lose, but finish things out strong. A Steph Curry, Mount Rushmore game there. The Warriors -3 coming through, cashing despite Jimmy Butler ending up sitting out that game. So a massive game there for the Warriors and for Steph Curry fans everywhere. In terms of our dog of the day, that was the Royals +120. Cashed that one as well. A 2-0 win there. The Astros bats stay quiet, and Walker was absolutely lights out in that game. And our massive lock of the day, also a win, guys. It was a little bit of an adventure. They end up winning 6-4 there. The Reds had 13 hits, so it really shouldn't have been quite that close of a game, but hey, it's a win, and we will certainly take it. A 5-1 day, that brings us up to an insane 13-3 over the last 3 days. So pretty wild stuff there, guys. We're going to keep the good times going here. That's the plan today. Let's go ahead and hop into our first game of this early Sunday morning slate. We've got the New York Mets going on the road to take on the Washington Nationals. First pitch around sometime like 12:30 Central Standard Time. Mets come into this game 19-8 on the season. They won game 2 of this series at 2-0. Alvarez hits a 2-run home run. So overall, not a lot of offense for the Mets. We'll see if they can get something going there at the plate, hitting the ball in this one to Taylor Megill. He comes in this game 3-2 on the year, a 1.09 ERA. He's been absolutely dealing. He's given up a total of 3 earned runs over his first 5 starts. That's pretty bonkers, guys. Not something you see every day. So we'll see if he can keep the run going. He struck out 10, walked 4, gave up 1 hit over 5 1/3 inning against the Phillies. It was eventually a very close 5-4 win there for the Mets in his last game. The bullpen out there for the Mets has not been a problem for them this year. There's third in the majors, a 2.46 bullpen ERA. Obviously coming off a very nice day there yesterday. And the offense, it's been a little bit all over the place, a little bit of a work in progress. I mean, Pete Alonso absolutely killing it, but as a team, they're only 17th in the majors in runs scored and 18th in batting average. They've scored 2, 4, 4, 5, 5, 7, 3, 5, and 4 runs over their last 2 games. They've been winning a lot of games. Hasn't necessarily been because of their offense. So we'll see what they come up with here against the Nationals, who at 12-15, not up to a horrible start considering where this team is likely headed this season. They're going to be hitting the ball in this one to Mitchell Parker. He's 3-1 this year, a 1.39 ERA. He has been dominant this season. He went 8 innings, gave up a single hit, struck out 4, and walked 2 against the Baltimore Orioles in his last game. That was a 7-0 win for the Nationals. The Nationals are 4-1 over his last 5 starts, so really just dominant stuff out there. He had good starts against teams like Arizona and the Phillies, so I don't think he's too scared to go up against anyone right now. So expecting good stuff from him in this game as usual. Now the problem for the Nationals has been that bullpen, an MLB worst 6.49 bullpen ERA. The offense has been, obviously got a little bit of a boost there with CJ Abrams coming back. They're middle of the road, tied for 15th in the majors in runs scored, 16th in batting average. So not horrible. They scored 0, 5, 1, 4, and 7 runs over the last few. So nothing to really get too upset about. Now, looking at the numbers for this game, the Mets -148, the Nationals +125. We've got a total of 8.5 in this game. The Mets are 7-7 on the road, 18-8-1 to the under. Washington 8-6 at home, 14-12-1 to the under. So right off the bat, guys, 2 very good starters on the mound. Not 2 offenses they're necessarily going nuts. I think it's a great spot for a couple different underplays. First up, no run first inning, super duper live in this game. I also like under in the first 5. That's a good way to dodge that sketchy Nationals bullpen. And last but not least, I also just like the straight up under 8.5 in this game. So anything that, plays into an under in this one, I certainly like. The Mets will probably come away with the win in the end of this game, but the main plays that I see on this one all relate to that under. Next up, we're looking at Game 1 of the doubleheader between the Toronto Blue Jays and the New York Yankees. It would have been game 2 of this series, ended up getting postponed. So they're going to play a doubleheader here on Sunday. The Blue Jays going to hand the ball in this one to Kevin Gausman. He was, supposed to be starter in the game that got postponed. He's 2-2 this year, a 3.16 ERA. His last start got knocked around by the Houston Astros. Not a team that's been great at the plate this year, but overall, his season has looked very, very solid. So I'm not too worried about him. I am, however, worried a little bit about that Toronto bullpen. A 3.59 bullpen ERA doesn't look terrible, but not a bullpen that I have the utmost trust in. Now, this offense also floundering, guys. They just snapped a 5-game losing streak in a game they won 4-2 at Yankee Stadium in game 1 of this series, but nobody's off to a particularly hot start. They're 25th in the majors in runs scored. They're 26th in slugging percentage, so not a great offensive team here, and you're probably going to have to score some runs going up against the Yankees, who are having some rough times themselves. They lost 3 out of their last 4. They're 15-11 on the year, handing the ball to Max Fried, who's been maybe the best pitcher, one of the best pitchers in the majors so far this season, no doubt about that. He's 4-0, a 1.42 ERA. His last start, he went 7 2/3 innings at Tampa Bay. Not the hardest hitting team, but still. 2 hits allowed, no runs allowed, walked 2 and struck out 2. So very, very good stuff there. I don't think he's going to be scared to go up against the Toronto Blue Jays. I don't think that Yankees bullpen is going to be too scared either. A 3.34 bullpen ERA, definitely serviceable. And we've seen good stuff generally from the Yankees bullpen. Now, the offense has not been killing it recently. I mean, they've scored 2, 5, 2, 4, and 4 runs over the last few games. This is supposed to be an elite offense. And, Aaron Judge is doing his thing out there, batting over 400 with 7 home runs and 26 RBIs, but they're struggling a little bit. They're still second in the majors in runs scored and second in on-base percentage, so I'm sure they'll be fine, but right now they're having a little bit of a rough time. Looking at the numbers for this game, the Blue Jays are plus 160, the Yankees are minus 190. We've got a total of 8.5 here, and we're talking about game 1, guys, don't be confused. Toronto, 5-8 on the road, 16-9-1 to the under. The Yankees are 8-5 at home, and a 500 over-under team. It seems a little bit crazy, but I'm maybe considering the under 8.5 in this game, especially since it's game 1 of a doubleheader. Maybe, guys will be not that locked in for what's going to be a long day of baseball for them. I think that could be a possibility, but we have 2 very solid starters out there on the mound, and that's really what makes me think about the under. In terms of a side, I do think there's really not a great reason to not take the Yankees here. Minus 190, though, a little bit too rich for my blood, and not a big enough lock, not a big enough lean for me to call this my lock of the day. Next up, we're looking at the Baltimore Orioles going on the road to take on the Detroit Tigers. The Orioles come into this game 10-16 on the season. Just lost their last 2 in a row. The first 2 games here against the Tigers not going their way, or losing both games there in that doubleheader. Pretty brutal stuff. They're not having a great season, guys. They're handing the ball to Dean Kremer, hoping he can turn things around for him. He's 2-3 on the year, a 6.84 ERA. His last start, he got shelled by the Washington Nationals, gave up 11 hits over 5 1/3 innings in a game we eventually saw Baltimore lose 7-0. So he's had a couple good starts in there, a decent one against Cleveland, a decent one against Kansas City, but he got shelled by Washington, Arizona, and Toronto. So not a starter that I'm super high on for all the reasons I just listed. The bullpen for Baltimore also not very good. Bottom, 8 in the majors, something like that. A 4.68 bullpen ERA. A pretty big yikes there. And the offense has fallen off a cliff from what we were seeing last season, guys. They scored 2, 3, 2, 3, and 0 runs over their last few. Cedric Mullins is leading the way, and he's been struggling, batting .279. Not great. They're down to 18th in the majors in runs scored, 25th in on-base percentage, and 24th in batting average. So they're going to have to do a little bit better out there if they want to find success here going up against the Detroit Tigers, who are 17-10 to start their year. They've won their last 3 in a row and 4 of their last 5. They're handing the ball to Tariq Skubal. So happy Skubal Day to all those who celebrate. He's off to a decent, maybe not a crazy elite start given what we've seen from this dude in his career, but he's 2-2, a 2.83 ERA. His last outing, he had a terrible outing, guys. He had 2 earned runs in 5 innings against the Royals. 2 earned runs on 7 hits over 5 innings. Not what we're used to seeing from him. His 2 starts before that, he hadn't given up a run. So we'll see if it's a little bit of a bounce back spot, I guess, here for Skubal. Obviously going up against Baltimore, I would assume he's not too scared. The bullpen here for the Tigers has been excellent. A 2.75 bullpen ERA. Nothing to turn your nose up at there. And this team has made a huge turnaround at the plate. We got guys like Zach McKinstry hitting the ball really well, batting .325 on the season. Spencer Torkelson having an amazing year, 8 home runs, 24 RBIs, and he's still batting well over .250. They're 13th in the majors in runs scored, 9th in batting average. This team can hit the ball. They scored 6, 4, 6, 0, 6, 3, and 3 runs over their last few games. I'm impressed with what I'm seeing from the Detroit Tigers, and looking at the numbers for this game, so are the odds makers. The Orioles plus 164, the Tigers minus 195. We've got a total of 7.5 out there. Baltimore's only 5-10 on the road. They're 13-10-3 to the over. Detroit 12-3 at home. 15-10-2 to the under. Guys, I'm definitely taking the Detroit Tigers here at minus 195. It's very expensive, so if this is going to make it into the pin comment, it's going to have to make it in as our big, massive lock of the day. So we're going to keep this one in mind. It's definitely got a chance with Scooball on the mound in a little bit of a bounce back spot. I'm expecting Baltimore to have a really bad time at the plate, and that Tigers bullpen is no joke. Next up, guys, we're looking at the Los Angeles Angels going on the road here to take on the Minnesota Twins. The Angels come into this game 12-14 on the season. They've lost 4 out of their last 5, so it's not looking great. They just lost 5-1 in game 2, and yeah, it's been rough. They're handing the ball to Jose Soriano. He's 2-3 this year, a 4.34 ERA. His last couple of starts, very problematic. He got shelled at the Texas Rangers, not a very tough hitting team. He gave up 10 hits in 5 2/3 innings and 3 earned runs. And then against the Pirates, his last time out, not an offensive juggernaut, 3 1/3 innings, gave up 8 hits and 5 earned runs, including a home run in that one. So he is struggling out there. Soriano not having a good time, so I guess he's in a bounce back spot, but I don't know if this really qualifies. The Angels bullpen, also one of the worst in the majors, bottom 5, a 5.02 ERA, and the offense, it's disappearing as well. They've scored 1, 4, 4, 0, 3, and 5 runs over the last few. Not looking great. Mike Trout doing his thing with 9 home runs and 18 RBIs, but he's batting 177. As a team, they're 21st in the majors in runs scored and 28th in batting average. So not a lot of positives for the Angels right now here as they go on the road to take on the Twins, who have won 4 out of their last 5. Now, the Twins have not faced a super tough schedule, and they recently, and yeah, we'll see what they can do out there. 11-16 on the year, not a great start. They're handing the ball to Joe Ryan. He's 1-2 this year, a 4.00 ERA. Now, he's had some good starts, some dominant starts, but his last time out at Atlanta, 5 innings, 8 hits, surrendered 6 earned runs, and 3 home runs. So that's a pretty big concern there for me. Joe Ryan not throwing the ball well coming into this game whatsoever. Now, the Twins' bullpen's been decent, a 3.50 bullpen ERA. Sure, that's fine. That's not a big deal. What's been carrying them kind of recently has been that offense. They've scored 5, 11, 0, 6, and 4 runs over their last few. Over the course of the year, this has not been a good offensive team, though, guys. 27th in the majors in batting average as a team. They are 22nd in the majors in runs scored as well. So not looking great. The odds makers kind of unbothered. The Angels, due to that skid recently, I suppose, and Soriano's struggles, are plus 130. The Twins are minus 155. We've got a total of 7.5 out there. The Angels are 7-10 on the road, so not a terrible road team. 13-12-1 to the under. Minnesota 8-6 at home. 14-10-3 to the under. This is a tough game to figure out, guys. Overall, like neither starter's really been wowing me recently, so maybe this is a sneaky over 7.5 spot. I could definitely wrap my head around that, despite the small trends of these two teams towards the under. In terms of a side, go ahead and give me the Twins at minus 155 with the Angels struggling so aggressively, but that is the smallest of small leans. I think the over is by far the better play in this game. Before we get too deep into this video, guys, quick reminder, all of our videos are sponsored by StumpTheSpread.com. Click the link in the description to go over there and see the top confidence picks from our entire team of experienced cappers. Right now, our premium members are getting daily MLB, NBA, NHL, and UFC picks. Major League Baseball is off to a just ridiculous start at this point, guys. It's getting out of control. Through Friday's games, over our last, 23 premium MLB picks, our premium Major League Baseball capper is 18-5. Bonkers level stuff. Dude has been absolutely killing out there. So definitely consider getting to StumpTheSpread.com, clicking that link in the description to get over there and check out everything we offer. There's free picks over there that are exclusively posted to Stump the Spread. Obviously, our top confidence picks are over there as well, our premium picks, and we've got bet size calculators and some other interesting free tools. But mostly, you just need to get over there and get on that free email newsletter, guys, from Stump the Spread. You get free picks straight to your inbox every day and updates on our results. Check your spam folder if you're having trouble getting them, but that's an absolutely free thing you can just sign up for. You get over there, create an account. It's absolutely free. You just put in, I think, your name and email address. I think that's all the information that we ask for, and then you get those picks straight to your inbox. So definitely get in on that. It's absolutely free. Also, if you are a huge fan of what we're doing here every day, guys, click that little join button below the video and sign up for a channel membership. Channel members are eligible for our members only giveaways. We'll be giving away a Stump the Spread hoodie to one random channel member each month, and we'll get more channel members. We will be doing more and more giveaways each and every month. Members also get early access to our videos and get their names up on screen in every video. and it just lets me know you guys are a really big fan of what we're doing here. So let's go ahead and hop back into our next game we're going to be looking at, and it is the Boston Red Sox going on the road here to take on the Cleveland Guardians. Now, the Red Sox did get the win in game 2 there in Cleveland, winning 7-3, so they'll definitely take it. Duran stealing home in that game. Pretty crazy stuff. It's always so cool. That always happens like once, maybe twice a year, and it's very exciting stuff. The Red Sox 15-14 on the year, not exactly off to a flying start. Hitting the ball to Brian Bello in this one. He's 1-0, a 1.80 ERA. Now, this is only going to be his second start of the year, so let's not overreact to one good start against the Seattle Mariners. It was good, don't get me wrong, and the Red Sox won that game 8-3, so congratulations. We'll see if he can run it back in this one and have a good outing against Cleveland. The bullpen situation there for Boston, a 4.12 bullpen ERA isn't necessarily wowing me. I'm a little bit concerned just in general about Boston. Now, they're supposed to be this dominant offensive team as well, and they're coming off a game where they scored 7, but I can't really get all that excited. They also played a doubleheader yesterday, I believe. Wasn't that the deal? Didn't they play a doubleheader in that game? Yeah, they won one game 7-3. They won the other game 5-4. So, yeah, thank you, Cleveland, for winning that one 5-4. By the way, we had Cleveland in that game. So, yeah, just not loving what we're seeing from the Red Sox right now at the plate. It was 7, 4, 3, 5, 8, 4 and 4. Like, that includes some games against the White Sox. Like, this is supposed to be an offensive powerhouse, and I know they're 7th in the majors in runs scored and 10th in on base percentage, but they're just not getting that many runs across the plate. So I'm a little bit worried about the Red Sox here as they take on the Guardians, who come into this game 15-11 after splitting that doubleheader. Like I said, we had Cleveland in game 1, and they won that one 5-4. So we'll definitely take it. They're handing the ball to Logan Allen, who's off to a solid start this year. 1-1, a 2.11 ERA. This is going to be his 5th start of the season, and his last 3 have been dazzling. Against the White Sox, very good. Okay, cool, it's the White Sox, but then a good start against Baltimore and an excellent start his last time out against Pittsburgh, giving up only a single earned run there over 5 2/3 innings, while striking out 5 and walking 1. So good stuff there. Obviously, going up against Boston is going to be a little bit more of a test for a guy whose toughest game was probably against the Padres, and he got shelled there. So we'll see what he does. We'll see what that Cleveland bullpen can do. I mean, they've been excellent this year. A top 5, top 6 bullpen, a 3.12 bullpen ERA. Nothing wrong with that. We see guys like Steven Kwan, Kyle Manzardo, both off to excellent starts to the year. Despite that, the Guardians are only 22nd in the majors in runs scored and 20th in on-base percentage. So a little bit of room for worry there for the Guardians. Now, looking at the numbers for this game, we are, seeing the Guardians and the Red Sox. It's close to a flip. Boston's -105. The Guardians are maybe -115. It depends on what book you look at. We've got totals out there of 7.5 or 8. Boston 7-8 on the road, 14-13-2 to the under. Cleveland 8-3 at home, 13-11-2 to the over. A lot of contradictory trends here, guys, so it's a little bit tough to really pin this one down. I'm going to be leaning just slightly towards Cleveland at home in this one. They're a very solid home team. Boston, not a great road team, so we'll see which way this one goes, but not a game that's really going in the pin comment for me. Even if you wanted to take, under 8, which there's still some 8s floating around out there, you could, but not really my favorite spot. Next up, guys, we're looking at the Houston Astros going on the road to take on the Kansas City Royals. Smash that like button for me if you enjoyed hitting the Royals as our dog of the day yesterday. That was a pretty fun one, guys. We love it. The dog of the day has been on an insane run since we started doing, that segment, whatever you want to call it, because I think it's 5-1. I think the dog of the day is 5-1, and the crazy lock of the day is 5-0 or 6-0, whichever. It's either been 5 days or 5 videos that we've done that, or 6, I can't remember, but pretty crazy stuff there. We'll definitely take it. Now, the Astros come to this one determined to get a win. They're handing the ball in this one to Hunter Brown. They're trying to avoid, losing 3 straight here, and Hunter Brown might be the way to do it. He's 3-1 this year, a 1.16 ERA. He dominated the Toronto Blue Jays his last time out. 7 innings, 2 hits, no runs allowed. He struck out 9 and walked 1, and what was a 7-0 win there for the Houston Astros. He actually hasn't allowed an earned run in his last 3 starts in a row, so pretty bonkers stuff there for Hunter Brown. The Astros bullpen, top 4 in the majors, a 2.53 bullpen ERA. Crazy work there, but the offense hasn't scored a run in this series. They've lost both games 2-0. In that series against the Blue Jays, they scored 3, 5, and 7 runs, but this is not a good offense, guys. Jose Altuve slumping, batting all the way down to 274. We see the team as a whole, 25th in the majors in runs scored, 27th in slugging percentage. Just not a good offense. So we'll see if they can come up with anything here against the Royals, who have suddenly turned things around completely. They're back to 500 on the year at 14-14. They've won their last 6 straight. They're handing the ball to Chris Bubich, who's off to a fantastic start himself. He's 2-1 this year, a 1.45 ERA. His last start was against the Rockies. Very good stuff there, albeit against the Rockies. 7 innings, 4 hits, no runs allowed. He walked 0 and struck out 6. So dominant stuff. He has had some hiccups along the way, but really, guys, this young 27-year-old is looking very, very good out there. So excited for him, excited for the Royals bullpen, which has been excellent. A 3.34 bullpen ERA is much better than they were at some other points this year. And the offense, while they've only scored 2 runs in each of the first 2 games of the series, seems like they're maybe figuring stuff out. They scored 2, 2, 6, 7, 4, and 4 runs over the last few. Bobby Witt Jr. hitting the ball pretty well. We see, not a lot of power numbers coming out of the Royals. They're second to last in the majors in slugging percentage, but some of those other numbers are creeping up just a bit. So looking at the numbers for this game, not shocked here to see the Astros at -135 as the favorites there with Hunter Brown on the mound. The Royals are +115. We've got a total of 7.5 in this game. Houston 4-7 on the road, 16-8-2 to the under. Kansas City 11-4 at home, 18-9-1 to the under. So in terms of a side in this game, I'm going to side with the Royals at +115 as a very small lean. I don't think this is going to be our dog of the day. I'll put it on the list, but I'd be very surprised. I don't think we're going to be going against Hunter Brown here. I do, however, think under 7.5 is an excellent play on this game and has a chance to end up in the pinned comment because offense is going to be an absolute premium. I also think a no-run first inning could end up being our massive lock of the day on this. It's very crowded Sunday slate just because we see one of these guys going to give up a run in the first inning. Like, they might not give a run in the first 6 innings. So keep an eye on all of those plays, guys. Definitely a chance to end up in the pinned comment. Next on the dock, we're looking at the Milwaukee Brewers going on the road to take on the St. Louis Cardinals. We see the Brewers floundering. They've lost 5 out of their last 6, their last 4 in a row. They just lost 6-5 in Game 2. Arenado walking it off there with a home run for the Cardinals. Yeah, the Brewers blow a 5-0 lead. So pretty crazy stuff. They're hitting the ball to Jose Quintana, hoping he can straighten things out. And he has been on fire this year. 3-0, a 0.96 ERA. 3 starts this year, dominated the Arizona Diamondbacks, dominated the Detroit Tigers, and then went 6 innings, gave up 6 hits, and 1 earned run his last time out, and that was at San Francisco. The Brewers have won all 3 of those starts, so pretty crazy stuff there. The bullpen is a problem for Milwaukee. A 5.13 bullpen ERA is 3rd worst in the majors, and the offense obviously has had some ups and downs. They've scored 5, 2, 5, 2, and 11 runs over their last few games. Guys like Bryce Terang off to a good start. Jackson Chourio off to a good start. They're 5th in the majors in runs scored and 10th in batting average. So this is not a bad team necessarily, but they're just having a little bit of bad luck and a little bit of a rough time right now. So we'll see what they can do here against the Cardinals, who are up to 12-15 on the year after winning 3 of their last 4. Pretty exciting stuff there to see Arenado hitting that home run there off of Megal in the 9th inning to give the Cardinals that 6-5 win. They're hitting the ball to Eric Feedy. He's 1-2 this year, a 3.33 ERA after getting off to that super good start there to open his year against the Twins. He's had some good, had some bad. Most of it's been good, though, just that one horrible start against Boston. His last time out, 6 innings, 5 hits, 2 earned runs in what was eventually a 7-6 loss for the Cardinals at the Atlanta Braves. So he's been throwing the ball well. The problem kind of for him has been this bullpen for the Cardinals is terrible. Bottom, 6 in the majors, a 4.94 bullpen ERA. And the offense, while it was once looking like the best offense in all of Major League Baseball, sitting at 8th in the majors now. They're still 2nd in batting average and 5th in on-base percentage, but this is not going to be one of the top offenses in Major League Baseball. Just seems insanely unlikely to me. So, looking at the numbers, the odds makers have this as a coin flip. You can find the Brewers at -110. You can find the Cardinals at -110. We've got a total of 8 in this game. Milwaukee's 4-11 on the road, 15-11-2 to the under. The Cardinals 10-4 at home, 15-11-1 to the over. We're going to do the typical thing we tried to do last season on Sundays, which are historically tough days to figure out. We are going to just take the Brewers here to get the win and not lose 3 straight. So give me the Brewers here at -110, especially with Jose Quintana on the mound. It seems like a bargain. I will not be filing this away as a win, though, until we see the Brewers either up by 20 or this game is a final, because the Milwaukee bullpen can blow pretty much any lead. Next up, we're looking at the Cincinnati Reds going on the road to take on the Colorado Rockies. The Reds have been coming through for us here pretty early and pretty often. And slam that like button, guys, if you loved our win there on our big, massive lock of the day with the Reds at -190. Definitely great to see another one of those come through. We are undefeated on our massive lock of the day. We're going to lose one eventually. It's just going to happen. That's how baseball works. But right now, we are absolutely cruising in. So are the Reds, winning their last 3 in a row. They're up to 14-13 on the year. They're hitting the ball to Nick Lodolo, who's 2-2 this season, a 2.79 ERA. His last couple of starts, though, have looked a little bit questionable. After getting out to an insanely hot start against a couple of very good teams, he struggled against Seattle and then struggled against the Miami Marlins, giving up over 5 2/3 innings, giving up 7 hits and 3 earned runs, including a home run. So A little bit cautious here about Nick Lodolo. The Reds bullpen obviously not having a ton of trouble. Not great. A 3.55 bullpen ERA leaves room for improvement. The offense, though, figuring stuff out all of a sudden. Gavin Lux hitting the ball well. Elliot De La Cruz putting up numbers. They've scored 6, 8, 5, 3, 3, and 24 runs over the last few games. So we'll see what they can come up with here against the Rockies, who are 4-22 on the year, looking historically bad. They just lost 6-4 in game 2. They're handing the ball to Ryan Feltner. He's 0-1 this season, a 3.86 ERA. He's coming off a great start there at the Kansas City Royals. 7 innings, 3 hits, 1 earned run allowed. But, guys, you just can't hardly get wins if you're a Colorado Rockies starter because that bullpen, while it's not looking as bad as last year, is real freaking bad. And the offense is nowhere to be found. They're second to last in runs scored. They are third to last in runs scored, second to last in batting average. They are getting on base at a 292 clip. Like, this is a terrible offensive team. So, looking at the numbers here, despite Lodolo's struggles, the Reds are still significant favorites at -155. The Rockies are +130. We've had a total of 11 in this game, which seems pretty high, but given what we see, at Colorado, that can definitely happen. The Reds are 8-7 on the road, a 500 over/under team. Colorado is an MLB worst 3-8 at home. They are 16-9-1 to the under. I think under 11 is live in this game since neither team really great at the plate, but not too interested in that. I could theoretically take the Reds here at -155 as a bounce back spot for Lodolo, but he's not looking very good, so this might overall just be something of a stay away spot. Next up, we've got the Texas Rangers going on the road to take on the San Francisco Giants. The Rangers come into this game 15-12 on the season, but they've lost 3 out of their last 4. They're handing the ball to Jack Leiter. He's 2-0 this year, a 0.90 ERA. He's coming off of the injured list there because of that finger issue. He's only made 2 starts. This will be his 3rd start of the year, but he's been real good. Real good. Went up against the Red Sox there in his first start of the year, gave only a single earned run over 5 innings, then shut out the Cincinnati Reds over 5 innings, giving up only a single hit, walking 0 and striking out 6. So now that he's back from that finger thing, I think he's going to be totally fine. I'm not worried about him. Expecting very good stuff from Jack Leiter. In terms of the bullpen there for Texas, it hasn't been a big problem either. A 3.49 bullpen ERA. Nothing to turn your nose up at. Now, the offense. That's where the problems arise here for the Texas Rangers. They've scored 2, 2, 3, 2, 8, 0, and 4 runs over their last few. Corey Seager missing time is obviously not great. They're dead last in the majors in runs scored. They are 29th in the majors in on-base percentage. This is just not a good hitting team. There's no way around it. So they're going to have to come up with something here against the San Francisco Giants, who have won 3 out of their last 4. They're 18-10 on the year, handing the ball to Jordan Hicks, who's not having a great season. He's 1-3 this year, a 6.59 ERA. His last 3 starts have all been terrible, giving up 7 earned runs against the Yankees, 5 earned runs against the Phillies, and 5 earned runs, 6 runs overall against the Milwaukee Brewers. All of those games, no shocker here, were losses for the San Francisco Giants. So, not looking great. Now, the bullpen for the Giants is amazing. A 2.39 bullpen ERA is second best in the majors and absolutely insane. The offense having a little bit of a rough time recently. They've scored 3 and 0 runs in this series, respectively. Now, this isn't a bad offense. I mean, Young Hoo Lee doing his thing out there. Wilmer Flores off to a good start, although he's cooling off a bit. They're still 6th in the majors in runs scored, but this is an offense that's due for some regression, guys. They're 22nd in the majors, batting .277 as a team. Their on-base percentage is 18th in the majors at .309. This is just not a dominant offensive team, I don't think. So we'll see what they can do here, guys. The Rangers are +110. The Giants are -130. We've had a total of 8 out there. Texas, 5-9 on the road, 19-8 to the under. That's an MLB best mark to the under. San Francisco, 8-4 at home, 16-11-1 to the over. Guys, despite their lack of offense, I'll take the Texas Rangers at +110. The Giants are a team that's in for some offensive regression for sure. I love Jack Leiter out there on the mound. Jordan Hicks is having a terrible time for the Giants. So the Texas Rangers at +110 has a very real shot to end up being our dog of the day. Rolling right along here, guys, we're looking at the Chicago White Sox going on the road to take on the Sacramento Athletics, or at least that's what we're calling them now. The White Sox come into this game 7-20 on the year, fresh off of a crazy 10-3 win there at the Athletics. So, yeah, pretty cool. Michael Taylor's 3 doubles there. Pretty nuts there. We'll see what they can do in this one. They're handing the ball to Davis Martin. He's 1-3, a 3.95 ERA. He's fresh off of a decent start against the Minnesota Twins. But the last time he faced these Athletics, he didn't have so much fun. 5 1/3 innings, 8 hits, 4 earned runs. He gave up 2 home runs in that game. And eventually we saw the White Sox lose that one 8-0. So Not loving this spot for Davis Martin necessarily. We'll see what he can do, see what that White Sox bullpen can do. I mean, while they're not as bad as they were last season, a 4.53 bullpen ERA is pretty freaking bad. The offense, while they're not quite as bad as last season, is pretty awful, guys. They're last in batting average and slugging percentage. They're only second to last in runs scored, though, and third to last in on-base percentage. This is a bad team, guys. They're just terrible. Once again, no major shock there. We'll see what they can do here against an Athletics team that's 13-14 on the year. Not as bad as many would have predicted. They're hitting the ball to Osvaldo Bido, who's 2-2 this year, a 4.85 ERA, and most of those bad ERA numbers are due to the fact Bro just got shelled his last time out by, of all teams, the Texas Rangers. 5 1/3 innings, 8 hits, 8 earned runs. He gave up 4 home runs in that game, so not great. But the last time he faced the White Sox was a road game. In that one, he went 5 2/3 innings, gave up 5 hits, only a single earned run in that game. So expecting a bounce back from him for sure. He's a very decent, not elite, but a decent pitcher for sure. The Athletics bullpen, while it has obviously not been elite, has been slightly better than the White Sox at least, and their offense has been much, much better. We've got guys like Jacob Wilson off to a great start, batting .233 on the season. Tyler Soderson with 9 home runs, 22 RBIs, is batting .301 on the year, is crazy. They're 6th in the majors in batting average, 4th in slugging percentage, and 11th in runs scored. So they could be getting even a little bit better here at the plate. And all of that amounts to the Athletics being big favorites in this game. They're minus 220. The White Sox are plus 180. We've got a total of 9.5. The White Sox are only 3-12 on the road. They're 13-12 2 to the under. The Athletics 5-9 at home, 13-10 4 to the over. Guys, we have to take a look at this one. We have to at least consider the Athletics here at minus 220 for our lock of the day. Now, this is a bounce back spot for Bido, something we don't always want to work in there, but I think we have to take this one significantly into consideration. Next up, guys, we're going to look at the Tampa Bay Rays going on the road to take on the San Diego Padres. The Tampa Bay Rays come into this game 13-14 on the year. They won their first 2 in the series, winning 1-0 and 4-1. That Chandler Simpson, leaping catch at the wall, that was pretty wild stuff there. They're going to be hitting the ball in this one to my twin brother, Zach Littell, who is straight up not having a great time this season. He's 0-5 on the year, a 5.28 ERA. He's had a couple decent starts in there. I mean, he went up against Boston, went 6 innings, gave up 5 hits, only a single earned run. Went up against Arizona, at Arizona, 6 innings, 6 hits, 3 earned runs. And against the Diamondbacks, that's not terrible. So it'd be nice if he could get a little bit of run support here. He's probably going to need it. We'll have to wait and see. Now, the bullpen situation for Tampa Bay this season hasn't exactly been the end of the world. A 3.22 bullpen ERA has them top 8 or 9 in the majors. That's solid. The offense, obviously they haven't scored a ton of runs in this series, but they've been hitting the ball relatively well recently, scoring 4, 1, 7, and 7 runs over their last few. They're 15th in the majors in runs scored, 7th in batting average, but 16th in slugging percentage. So not a team that I necessarily am afraid of at the plate. They're going to be hitting the ball, and they're going to be going up against the San Diego Padres in this one, who are 17-10 this season. They've actually managed to lose 4 out of their last 5. They're hitting the ball to Randy Vasquez, hoping he can turn things around for them. He's 1-2 on the year, a 3.97 ERA. His last start, a debacle there against Detroit. 2 innings, 5 hits, 6 earned runs allowed. So he needs to turn things around. In general, he's been very good this season. That's his first bad start of the year. So we'll see if he can bounce back, and I pretty much do expect him to bounce back, especially pitching here at home where he has been excellent this year. So expecting good stuff from Vasquez. Obviously expecting that Padres bullpen to be dominant. A 1.69 bullpen ERA is crazy work. And we see this offense has been good over the course of the year, but not as good as they deserve to be. They're 4th in the majors in batting average. They are 6th in on-base percentage and 10th in slugging percentage, but 18th in runs scored. They should be putting up some more runs, and I think this is a very good spot for them to do that, unfortunately, against my twin brother, Zach Littell. So, looking at the numbers for this game, we see the Rays at plus 100. The Padres are minus 120. We've got a total of 8 out there. Tampa Bay's 3-4 on the road, 13-11 2 to the under. San Diego 12-2 at home. Very dominant home stuff. They've lost the first 2 games of this series at home, which is crazy. They're also a significant under team, 15-10-1 to the under. I'm probably not going to be taking under 8 in this game because of the Zach Littell thing. I'm going to be leaning here very aggressively towards the Padres at minus 120. Now, Vasquez has burned us in the past. So this isn't going to be like our lock of the day or anything, but I think this is an excellent shot to be one of our just normal plays because the Padres, I don't think they're going to lose this 3rd straight game. I think they're going to come away with a comfortable win. In our last MLB game before we hop over to that NBA slate, we're going to take a look here at the Philadelphia Phillies going on the road to take on the Chicago Cubs on Sunday Night Baseball. The Phillies come into this game fresh off of a desperately needed 10-4 win there at the Cubs in game 2 of this series. They're only 14-13 on the year, so not having a great time. They're handing the ball to Aaron Nola, who's been getting shelled. He's 0-5, a 6.43 ERA. His last 3-4 starts have not been great. None of his starts have really been great this season, so very worried about him. Very worried about that Phillies bullpen. They've been one of the worst in the majors, a 5.46 bullpen ERA. Now, they're going up against, not the toughest bullpens. We'll see how that goes, but the offense for the Phillies also not nearly good enough to justify how bad this pitching staff has been. They are 8th in batting average and 3rd in on-base percentage, but yeah, I'm not too thrilled with what we're seeing from anybody at the plate. Now, they're coming off a game where they scored 10, so maybe they can do that again here against the Cubs, who come into this game 17-11 on the year. They've won 3 out of their last 4. They're hitting the ball to Jameson Taillon. He's 1-1 this year, a 4.73 ERA, and all of those bad numbers come in one outing there against Arizona. Other than that, he has been lights out this season. He just had a great bounce back start there against Arizona and has done good things against teams like San Diego. So yeah, expecting very good stuff here from Taillon. The bullpen there for the Cubs, though, is a disaster. Also, a 5.05 bullpen ERA is horribly bad. They're going to have to do better than that. And the offense, guys, it's been insane. The best offense in the majors, 1st in runs scored, 1st in batting average, 1st in on-base percentage, and they're slugging .461. That's 1st in the majors as well. So I'm expecting them to put up some runs here against Aaron Nola. That's probably not news here to anyone. So looking at the numbers for this game, the Phillies are -108. The Cubs are -105. Basically a coin flip. We got a total of 8 in this game. The Phillies are 5-9 on the road, 14-13 to the under. The Cubs 9-4 at home, 17-9-2 to the over. That's an MLB best to the over. This over-under feels like a trap. I'm taking over 8. Seems like a no-brainer to me. You could also interest me in the Cubs here for sure. At -105, seems extremely live, and they're in a bounce-back spot, but I love the over in this game. I think it's definitely going in the pinned comment. It's not going to be my lock of the day because it's not that big of a lock, but I do love over 8 in this spot. Now, guys, hopping over to look at a very exciting Sunday of NBA playoff basketball. We've got the New York Knicks going on the road to take on the Detroit Pistons. Now, this is going to be game 4 of this series. We saw the Knicks come away with a crazy 2-point win there, holding off a furious Pistons comeback there in the 4th quarter. So, yeah, the Knicks, they take care of business. They do get a win there in Detroit. We'll see how things go. Cade not having the best game. Karl-Anthony Towns having a monster game. Cat with 31. Brunson with 30 there for the Knicks. So, dominant stuff there. On the other side, guys, the Pistons, Cade not having the best game. Tim Hardaway Jr. continues to light it up. It did light it up. That's something we will see if maybe he can continue. Cade, not his best night. So we'll see if he can bounce back a little bit. Schroeder continues to play really, really well. And the Pistons shot the ball really well and ended up taking the loss. So that's got to feel pretty brutal for them. Look at the injury report here for the Knicks. We do see Mitchell Robinson on there. He's currently dealing with an illness. He's questionable for this game. So that could be a significant dude to be missing. Now, the Pistons, on the other hand, seems like Isaiah Stewart probably going to be out for this one. He's technically questionable for this game with that knee injury. So, yeah, a couple big men that could be missing this game, and the Pistons would be missing their best fighter, which might suck for them. Now, looking at the numbers for this game, the Pistons are -2. We've got a total of 217.5. The Knicks 20-22 against spread on the road. Detroit 19-22-1 against spread at home. Guys, this is a little bit of a sticky spot. I could definitely be interested in something along the lines of an over in this game, of over 217.5. That seems reasonable. In terms of a side, I think we have to side with the Pistons here. It feels a little bit crazy. I don't love that they don't have Isaiah Stewart out there, but I do think the Pistons at -2 is the way we want to go, but neither one of those plays are ending up in the pinned comment. We have some player props on this game that I think are very interesting, though. First up, Dennis Schroeder over 11.5 points. He played 30 minutes in Game 3. 20 and 18. He scored 20 and 18 points in games 2 and 3 when he's been featured more and getting more minutes. I think he easily gets 12 to 15 points in this game. No problem. Could put up a 20 spot. Definitely love Schroeder here. Over 11.5 points. This is one of my favorite NBA props of the day. Definitely my favorite one of this game. I also think Tim Hardaway Jr. over 2.5 made threes is live. He was 7 of 12 from 3 in game 3. He's going to get his shots up, and bro is going to knock some down, especially now that he's seeing the ball go through the hoop a lot better, and he's playing, shooting on home rims makes a big difference. So also think Hardaway Jr. over 2.5 made threes is live in this game. Next up, we're looking at the Los Angeles Lakers taking on the Minnesota Timberwolves. We saw the Timberwolves come away with the big 116-104 win there in Game 3 of that series, negating a massive 38-point game there from LeBron James. Now, Luka was not himself there in Game 3, very obviously. He still managed to gut it out, play 40 minutes in that game, but yeah, very, very clearly, bro was going through it. He was super, super under the weather. I couldn't believe he didn't throw up on the floor. It was crazy, crazy stuff. So yeah, Luka should be back to normal for this one. We'll see how that goes. overall, I mean, the Lakers injury report is clear. The Timberwolves injury report, it is also looking very, very clear. So no worries there necessarily. The question is, can the Timberwolves do what they did last game, which was see massive games from both Anthony Edwards, Jaden McDaniels putting up a 30-piece, and Julius Randle scoring 22 fairly decent points, fairly efficient points, but the bench came up big. Naz Reid, Dante DiVincenzo both playing well, despite DiVincenzo not shooting the ball particularly well in that game. So looking at the Lakers, they just need better play from Luka. They got great stuff from LeBron. Austin Reeves had a good game as well. Didn't get much from the bench, but that's always going to be an issue for the Lakers. So looking at the numbers for this game, the Timberwolves -3.5 or -3. We've got total out there of 209, which seems very low to me. The Lakers 18, 22, and 2 against the spread on the road. Minnesota 18, 23, and 1 against the spread at home. No major leans to be really drawn from that. Now, I'm going to be leaning towards the over in this game. I think there's some good value to take them to get over that total of 209. Seems reasonable to me for sure. In terms of a side on this one, with Luka being back and being healthy, I think you probably want to go ahead and take the Lakers, especially if you can find some threes out there still. So, yeah, or 3.5. So, yeah, take the Lakers at +3.5. I think that's extremely reasonable here. Getting some points. I don't think they're a team that's going to be bothered by playing on the road. I don't think we're going to see guys like Jaden McDaniels go off for 30 points again there for the Timberwolves. And if Julius Randle doesn't get to the line 10 times in that game, he has a bad game. So, I think this is a great spot to back the Lakers here to bounce back. Now, in terms of some player props for this game, I think Luka over 28.5 points, going to be a great spot. Should be over being sick and is going to make up for that 16-point game he had in game 3. I think we'll see him play much, much better, be very, very close to full strength in that game. So expecting good stuff out of Luka. And I also like DiVincenzo to turn things on. He's been a little bit underwhelming so far here in the playoffs for the Timberwolves. I like him over 17.5 points, rebounds, and assists. He's clearly the better option there at point guard than Conley. He's going to be finding his shot. So DiVincenzo, he could score 18 points. And if he's cooking out there, he's going to put up a lot of stats. I mean, in his last game, he had 10 points, 5 rebounds, and 4 assists. That right there, if he has a similar game, that's going to get us over this number. And I think he's going to have a much, much better game, especially offensively. Like, he went 4 of 13 from the field, 2 of 8 from 3. Bro's better than that. He's going to do better than that. So let's go ahead and move on here. Look at the Boston Celtics going on the road to take on the Orlando Magic. Now, this has been a pretty wild series. We've seen all kinds of crazy stuff. We saw Tatum, who is listed as doubtful, come back and play there in Game 3. And despite that happening, we see the Orlando Magic come away with the 95-93 win. Very, very crazy stuff. They hang on there at the buzzer. Very cool to see this young Orlando Magic team win a game. Now, there has been lots of talk going on between these two teams, lots of very physical play, and I don't blame either side for really being upset. It's kind of up to the officials to take the crazy, crazy physical play out of the game if they want to, but that has not happened, and the Celtics kind of coming out on the wrong end. Right now, we see Jrue Holiday and Jaylen Brown both on the injury report there for Boston. Holiday, with that hamstring issue, is officially listed as out for this game. He will not be playing. Jaylen Brown, he's listed as questionable there with that knee issue. I think we'll probably see him play. Now, will he be at 100% for this game? We'll have to wait and see. He was very good there in Game 3, despite the fact they lost. So we'll see what we get out of him, but I'm expecting him to play in this game now. Orlando managed to get the win there in Game 3, thanks in large part to Franz Wagner having a monster 32-point performance. He played really well. Banchero put up 29 points. He played great. Nobody else really stepped up in a big way. I mean, I guess Wendell Carter Jr. had a double-double with 12 rebounds and 10 points, but overall, not a lot of super positive play, at least on the offensive end, coming out of the Orlando Magic. So we'll see what they can do. We'll see if Tatum can continue to just thrive out there. He was 12 of 12 from the free throw line, so that was a big part of his points. But he had 36 points. Nothing too exciting coming off the bench. Pritchard, only 3 points in his 26 minutes. Boston needs more out of him. So looking at the numbers for this game, the Magic are +6.5. We've got a total of 197.5. Boston 20-21-1 against spread on the road. They are an NBA best over the course of the entire season, 17-4 against the spread coming off a loss. Orlando 21-19-1 against spread at home. Guys, I'm definitely taking the Boston Celtics here to win this game by at least 7 points. They're the by far better team, even if we do end up seeing Jrue Holiday sit this game out. I think we see something much, much closer to what we saw in, like Game 1 of this series, where the Celtics won 103-86, or even Game 2 where they won 109-100. So definitely like the Celtics here at -6.5. In terms of the total, not really a huge lean on that, maybe a slight lean towards the over, but let's look at a couple of player props for this game. I like Franz Wagner over 24.5 points in this game. He had 32 in game 3. He found a shot, needs to be there to help Paulo Banchero out, and I think Franz Wagner going to get to 25 points. Extremely live. He's, half of their offense. Him and Banchero are each 50% of their offense. Nobody else does anything offensively. I also like Wendell Carter Jr. here, over 8.5 rebounds. He was over in 2 of the 3 games in this series, and in the other game he had 8, so he was very close in that one. I think he could definitely get his rebounds in this game. Last but not least, guys, we've got a series that is suddenly very, very interesting. The Indiana Pacers go on the road here to take on the Milwaukee Bucks. The Pacers took the loss there. The Bucks took the win in game 3, coming with a 117-101 win. Now, it was a pretty crazy game, not going to lie. Did not have Gary Trent Jr. going off for 37 points on my bingo card. Now, Gary Trent Jr. and Giannis each scored 37 points. Gary Trent Jr. went 9 of 12 from long range. Just crazy, crazy stuff. Dame had a horrifying game. He scored 7 points on 2 of 12, so he's got to be way better. Obviously, he can be better. We saw Bobby Portis put up 10 points off the bench. We saw 12 points off the bench from AJ Green. So as a team, the Bucks played much, much better. Now, the Pacers didn't really fall off. I mean, Halliburton, not a great day with 14 points and 10 assists, but Siakam 28, Nesmith 18, some decent stuff there from the bench from guys like Obi Toppin and Benedict Mathurin. So I think both these teams know that they can play, significantly better, which is a, kind of a scary sign there for the Milwaukee Bucks. Now, in terms of the injury report for the Pacers, Mathurin is on there. He's currently questionable for this game due to an abdominal contusion. I fully expect him to play, but hey, we were wrong about Jimmy Butler, so we could be wrong about that. And everybody is healthy for the Milwaukee Bucks. So looking at the numbers for this game, the Bucks 4.5-point favorites at home. We've got a total of 226.5. Indiana 19-23 against the spread on the road. Milwaukee 23-18-1 against the spread at home. Guys, I'll definitely take the Bucks here at -4.5. I think they've got what it takes to even up this series. I think the Pacers are a little bit shook playing on the road. Not exactly their forte. So, yeah, go ahead and give me the Bucks in this one. I expect a bounce-back game from Dame, at least, some percentage of the time. Now, in terms of that total of 226.5, I don't really have a huge lean on that one, to be honest. I would probably lean a little bit towards the under, but nothing too significant. Now, guys, looking at the player props for this game, I like Siakam over 21.5 points in this one. He had 24 plus in the first 3 games of this series. He's been shooting the ball great, not bothered when on the road. Yeah, Siakam's a monster, guys. He's going to get 22 points in this game. The Bucks are not a good defensive team. And last but not least, guys, I'll take Giannis over 32.5 points at home and just in general. He looks absolutely unstoppable. He's making his free throws. He scored 37, 34, and 36 points in each of the 3 first games of the series. He's not going to be slowing down here. I mean, why would you not take Giannis to just get over that number? Bro looks like an unstoppable freight train at this point. Holy moly, guys, that's all the games we have for today. Absolute banger of a video. Do me a big favor, slam that like button. Hopefully that brings you good luck on all of your bets. We've been on a sick run here over the last 3 days. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. Let your buddies know about this. Share this video out there on your social media or anywhere else you want to. Let me know in the comments any questions you have on today's slate. I answer every single question. How many YouTube content creators across every genre on YouTube do you know that does that? Thank you for watching. Click the link in the description. Get over to StumpTheSpread.com. As sick of a run as I've been on, our premium MLB capper over there at StumpTheSpread.com has been on an even sicker run. And we will see you guys tomorrow on Monday for more sports betting action.